Hello Internet, day 76 of my vlog 365 challenge. I'm downstairs at Anglo Ruskin because you've seen enough of my teaching room. Very quick vlog because I need to hit the road and get back, and no doubt the traffic's going to be bad and all this sort of stuff. Early mornings again. It's interesting, these early mornings. I keep talking about these early mornings. It's actually graduation day. You might be able to see the marquee in the background. Graduation day at Anglo Ruskin. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. You know, it happens every year. Who'd have thought? I never actually went to my graduation. I graduated a year later than I thought. And in fact, actually, my university story is longer than that. I could give you a potted history of my university life. So I originally started at university in 2000 at Anglo Ruskin University in Chelmsford, or that was Anglian Polytechnic back then, doing business information systems, so a combination of computing and a combination of business studies. I'd been sort of encouraged to do that because I did GMVQ and IT, and was okay at it really. So I was living at home, commuting from Colchester, commuting to Chelmsford every day, or however many days it was. Did a good first year, was a very model student for my first year. Had some very bumpy roads in my second year, so I had to do what's called intermit. So I pulled out halfway through the first semester. Went back again in the year after and had some other bumpy stuff, both family related issues both times really. And so I had to resit the second year, not resit, go back into second year. So third attempt at second year, and I think I got halfway through it, and then started to struggle. It turned out that I was horribly dyslexic, and that it would. I think I got diagnosed with dyslexia at the beginning of my third year. But what happened was I think I'd failed a couple of my second year modules, and I was actually carrying a lot of resits. Ironically, ARU would never have let me do that now because there's actually a limit to the number of resits you can carry, because obviously they understand that trying to expect a student to do like a third year and carry over lots of resits is just unmanageable. I think it was the beginning of my third year that I got diagnosed with dyslexia, and at the same time I remember having a panic attack in my classroom when I found out I had to do 12,000 word dissertation or something like that. Was the same time that I also got told, it will take you a good 6 to 8 months for your full dyslexia to come through. And so basically by the time I was nearly finishing my third year, I would have got my support, and it was like, well, this is ridiculous. Equally at the same time, I decided that I didn't want to. So we were being trained to basically go into London and be managers and consultants and all this sort of jazz. And I decided that wasn't the life for me. Commuting backwards and forwards on the train just to Chelmsford and Colchester, seeing these people who were going into London suited, grey-eyed, I thought this just isn't for me. So I'd also got involved in the student union. So my third year I stood for election and got elected, which meant I'd have had a full-time job from July the year onwards. And at that point I sort of just completely gave up on my degree. And I came out in that certificate of higher education, I think it is. So I've got a certificate of HE in business information systems. So I always say I've got a degree and a half, because that's the half. I did my sabbatical officer, and no doubt I'll probably talk about that at some point in the future. But then at that point I decided I'd already been at university, I think 5-6 years at that point. No, 5 years. By the end of my sabbatical year, I thought, well, I might as well give it another couple of years and actually try and get a degree. So I came back to ARU Cambridge, because at that point I'd fallen in love with Cambridge. Went back to ARU Cambridge, started completely from scratch and did communication studies. And that did take me 4 years because I did all of it apart from my dissertation. And I'd failed a third year module because I was ill on the hand-in. I'd got like gastric flu and couldn't meet the hand-in, missed it by 10 minutes because I was ill. They rejected my grounds because my doctor basically said, he says he's ill, but we can't prove it, sort of thing. And back then you got it capped, and you had to still carry the grade. So I'd had to have carried a capped 40%. At that point I lost my first contention because I could have got a first. If I'd really busted my gut in the last semester of third year, I could have got a first even. And I thought, well, I can't be bothered now. And I worked out that even if I handed my dissertation in at the latest possible moment, and have it capped, I'd still get a first. I'd still get a high 2-1. I think I've got No, yeah, I'd still get, sorry, not a high 2-1, I'd still get a 2-1. So that's what I did. I ended up then taking a whole year basically to do my dissertation. And at the time, my fiance would have been my fiance at the time. When then later married, and that's, you know that story. Basically coached me and really basically forced me on my dissertation, otherwise I wouldn't have done it. So if it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't have my dissertation. I wouldn't have done my dissertation, wouldn't really have got my degree with honours. But because I was then obviously graduating the year after all my peers, I didn't really see the point in going to my graduation. And I've always wished, I've never really regretted not going to my graduation, but I've always hoped that I will go back to university and do my Masters, and I still want to do that. That's partly what prompted the conversation yesterday about direction, but doing my Masters, and we'll be really proud of achieving that. But 6 minutes longer than I normally like to speak to, so that's my life, my university life, and I'll see you tomorrow.